Welcome to Nextflix, your quick stop for movie recaps. Get all the highlights and mind-blowing twists in just minutes. The series begins with a young man named Ryohei who is playing PlayStation in his room. He is a professional online gamer but remains detached from real life, having lived his whole life in a gaming environment. One day, his brother enters and yells at him for not attending a job interview, despite their father having arranged it for him, mentioning that it was a family business and that Ryohei was different when their mother was alive. Ryohei responds that he is living his life and leaves the house. On his way out, he sees his father looking at him with disdain and sends a message home. He then messages his friend Korabai, who works in a bar and is flirting with the manager's girlfriend. His manager enters, hits him, and tells him to stay away from the manager's girlfriend, but Korabai retaliates and quits his job. Ryohei then sends a message to his other friend Shida, who is withdrawing money to give to his mother, saying it will be the last time. It appears that his mother is exploiting him, and Shida cannot refuse her requests. Ryohei ends up homeless, Korabai is without a job, and even Shida is avoiding his work. The three friends meet and talk about their miserable lives. Ryohei wishes to go somewhere far away one day because he is tired of where he lives. They imagine that the residents of their city turn into zombies, and Korabai says that Ryohei would be the best at surviving because he is skilled at games and smart. He advises Ryohei to stop wasting time with him and Shida and to start living a real life instead of gaming. The three continue to play and run together amidst traffic, ignoring traffic signals until two cars collide, and they run from the police, hiding in a subway station. They find more police there, so they go to a public restroom in the station and hide together in the same stall, laughing about what happened. Suddenly, someone knocks on the door, and the lights go out. When they open the door, they find that everyone in the station has disappeared, including people in the city. They are puzzled and do not understand what is happening, as there is no one in public places, establishments, or restaurants. They find a restaurant with steam rising from food on a table, indicating that people have suddenly vanished without explanation. The group splits up to look for anyone, then reconvenes when they find no one. They notice that the mobile network is down. Ryohei is happy about what is happening, feeling it will make his life more exciting and thrilling. Despite the power being out everywhere, suddenly a building lights up brightly, displaying a screen that says the game will start in moments. The group sees a red light coming from afar, goes to check it out, and discovers it is a building marked Game Manager. They enter and follow the directions, reaching a hallway where a note says one for each person. They pass through lasers without noticing and find many mobile phones. Each member of the group takes one. The phones capture their faces, and a message appears saying the last registration time is 2 minutes. Suddenly, a girl named Suri appears, and the group is surprised to see someone else. Suri passes through the lasers, takes Shida's card, and throws it on the ground outside the path, where it burns. It turns out anyone can enter through the lasers, but anyone who exits will be burned. Suri tells them there is no way out and that they must play the game. Suddenly, another young girl arrives, relieved to see the group, happy that there are other people alive. She enters through the lasers, takes a phone from Suri, and as time passes, the 2 minutes run out. A voice from the phones announces that the game has started, and it is called Life or Death. The difficulty level is unclear, and the voice states that each person must choose the correct door within the time limit and that everyone must exit the building they are in during the game time. The elevator door opens, and the game begins. The group of 5 enters the elevator, which rises, and they have 2 minutes. They find themselves in a room with a door marked Life and another marked Death. Shida is excited, treating the situation as a fun game, filming everything with his phone. The group discusses which door to choose, and suddenly gas starts to leak from the ground, forcing them to choose quickly or they will suffocate and die. The young girl runs through the Life door out of fear and gets shot in the head, dying. The group exits through the Death door at the last moment, and the room they were in ignites. They enter another room, and a countdown of 2 minutes begins. The group struggles to decide whether to choose the Death door again or the Life door. Suri realizes that the game is about sacrifice and that each person must open a door themselves and die. The solution is the other door for the rest of the group. Shida is scared and keeps backing away, and with 1 minute left, the gas continues to pour from the ground. Ryohei risks his life and goes to open the Death door but hesitates. With 10 seconds remaining, Korabai takes the risk and opens the Life door, and fortunately, it is the correct door. The group exits just in time and enters another room where the countdown begins again. Korabai decides it is Suri's turn to choose a door, but she is terrified. Korabai asks Ryohei what he is thinking since Ryohei is smart at puzzle games. Ryohei is scared and says this game is based on luck. He breaks down and yells at Korabai, saying he cannot solve everything with violence. They fight Korubai, which snaps Ryohei out of his state, and he remembers something he saw outside the building. He decides to choose the death door, and the group passes through it as the countdown for the new challenge begins. Ryohei tells them he saw the manager's car outside, number 523D, which is 4 meters and 94 centimeters long, and that the building they are in is 4 times the length of the car, approximately 20 meters. He calculates the room's length to be about 6 meters. When he saw the building's map, he realized the elevator was situated in the building, which is square-shaped like the room they are in. This means the building has 3 rows, each with 3 rooms. He sketches how they moved and deduces that the exit door is the death door, leading them to exit through it. The group is impressed by Ryohei's intelligence, and he convinces them that the game is not a game of luck, and they manage to escape the door of death, followed by the door of life, until they reach the 2 doors, which are in opposite directions. Ryohei recalls the building's layout and asks Shota to show him the photo he took with his phone. He notices that the door the little girl opened didn't have any actual doors. He realizes that the room is not square-shaped and also discovers that there is a room behind the door of life in the room they are in. The group enters the door of life at the last second, and flames catch on to Shota. Karube extinguishes the fire and tells Ryohei that the exit door is death. The group exits the room and goes down the stairs. A voice from the phone congratulates them for surviving and escaping alive. Shota's leg is burned, and he is in pain. Sori finds a piece of paper on the table. The phones activate, and each participant receives a visa and 3 points. No one understands what it means. Suddenly, they see an injured older man who says he will withdraw from the game because it has no end. He mentions that his visa expires today, and he knows this is his end. He gets shot in the head and dies. The building's electricity cuts off, and they realize that a person dies when their visa points run out. To maintain their points, they must play the games and solve the difficult puzzles. Ryohei looks up at the sky, seeing several laser beams descending from the heavens to the earth. A mysterious girl appears, and she recalls her father saving her from death when she was climbing mountains. She vows to survive the game and stay alive, holding a playing card in her hand. The next day, Ryohei gets into a car and discovers that it, like all other cars, is not functioning. The group realizes that anything dependent on electronic chips is disabled and that only old devices work. Shota speculates that someone might have detonated an electromagnetic bomb that disrupted the electronics. Ryohei's phone battery dies, leaving him unsure of how to charge it. Karube and Sori are in a supermarket, gathering sharp tools and food for emergencies. The group eats together, and Sori tells them how she appeared in these mysterious circumstances. She says she was in a work meeting when everyone suddenly disappeared. However, she is lying. The truth is that she was in someone's apartment and in the bathroom, and when she came out, everyone was gone. She says this happened 3 days ago and that she has been using people as bait to solve puzzles and stay alive. The group wonders how Sori has been here for 3 days when they have only been here for 1. They realize there is a game master orchestrating everything and suspect they might have electronic chips implanted in their bodies to track their locations. Sori mentions hearing about a European development company wanting to conduct experiments using virtual reality to create a virtual world identical to the real one. She suggests they might be behind what's happening. Shota, suffering from burns on his leg, insists this cannot be virtual and must be real. Karube talks to Ryohei, saying the two of them will use their available time to adapt to the game's system and puzzles. This is so they can help Shota, who is injured, solve puzzles without putting his life at risk. Ryohei recalls that they might be able to identify other participants in the game using the phone that holds players' data. They hope one of them might be a doctor who can treat Shota's burned leg. At night, the mysterious girl appears and joins a game with a group of people, including new players and experienced ones who understand the game's mechanics. Ryohei and Karube participate in the game and take phones from the ones at the building's entrance. There, they see someone charging an old music player using the building's electricity. The number of participants is 13, and the game's difficulty is determined by playing cards. A man explains that this game will rely on physical challenges and that each card suit represents a type of game. For example, clubs involve teamwork, spades involve competition between opponents, and hearts involve betrayal for victory. The higher the card number, the harder the game. A voice from the phone announces that the game is a survival challenge. Each group must escape from a designated pursuer and find a safe zone hidden in one of the rooms within the building. The game's time limit is 20 minutes, and the safe zone will protect those inside from a bomb explosion in the building. Each participant heads to their designated location, and the game begins. Ryohei's group hears gunfire and sees the body of someone who has been killed. They spot the pursuer, armed with a machine gun and wearing a horse-shaped mask, who also fires at them. They flee to the stairs, and Ryohei hides with Karub. Meanwhile, Sori and Shota are alone in the house, and Sori starts to develop feelings for him. She tells him the truth about how she ended up